Hi, my name is Butondor, and this is my YouTube channel. I'm looking at the new moon and the full moon for 2026 and doing chart interpretations. A little bit about me: I've been studying astrology since I could read. There was a book on my bookshelf when I was a little girl. It was called Moon Signs by an astrologer named Donna Cunningham, and it's kind of just been what I've been into since then. Um, I'm someone who has a strong faith in God, and I love astrology, so I kind of just combine it all. It feels very divine to me. I love talking about the archetypes, and my niche that I really like to talk about is the moon. I'm still influenced by that book, Moon Signs, after all these years. So, the moon that I'm going to be talking about today is the Gemini new moon that's happening on Sunday, June 14th. In my last episode, I talked about the asteroid Vesta, and I was really excited about that. And the moon is the great goddess, and so I love talking about goddesses. I love studying ancient history. But when I looked at the chart for this new moon, what struck me as sort of interesting about this new moon wasn't an asteroid, although there's always goddess energy in the moon. But there is an aspect. It's Pluto trine Uranus, which to me kind of sounds pretty unusual. And just when I said that, like, my computer screen went dark for a minute. And Uranus, the reason why it's an important aspect for this new moon is because Uranus is also in the sign of Gemini. And so as we have a new moon there, and there's also this wild planet there, making this trine to this other very intense planet. And if you have an intense Pluto in your chart, you know what I'm talking about. So I think that kind of sums up this new moon and like what you could possibly think about or look out for as we go through this cycle, starting this new cycle with the Gemini new moon. So I do prepare some notes because I want to be prepared. I have a thesis statement for this new moon, which is: you're going to get a chance to see who you've always wanted to be with this energy. The veil becomes thinner between your current self and your future self, almost like Uranus and Pluto are opening a doorway into a different timeline. You may feel flashes of confidence, clarity, courage, creativity, or freedom that seem more alive than usual. Pay attention to that version of yourself. Remember it, anchor in it, because even when this energy subsides, you can still carry a piece of it in your heart. The new moon in Gemini reminds us that identity begins with the stories we tell ourselves, and this moment may show you a new story that is finally ready to be lived. So what I mean by that is I think it's important to pay attention to how you're communicating during this transit. You may like it. I don't know. It may scare you a little bit, but it may you may find yourself feeling a little more power, and you might want to remember what that feels like. So a very Gemini thing is to be multiple versions of yourself, and so you might find yourself in a situation where you want to be that version of yourself, and you can kind of have that in your back pocket. Just observe yourself, how you're communicating, what your communication style is around this new moon. I prepared a lot of stuff for this. One of them is just looking at Pluto in the houses. I'm not going to spend too much time, but I'll go through them. If you know where Pluto is in your chart, it could be really interesting to kind of make that connection and see as we go through this new moon. So the first house, if you have Pluto there, is identity and presence. If you have Pluto in the first house, you often have magnetic or intimidating presence, strong survival instincts, deep personal reinventions, and intense self-awareness. Themes are self-mastery, rebirth of identity, learning healthy use of personal power, and the shadow side is control issues and defensiveness, or obsession with image or self-protection. Second house, if you have Pluto in the second house, money, values, and self-worth. Transformation happens through finances, security, possessions, self-esteem. Themes are empowerment through self-worth, redefining abundance, releasing scarcity mentality, the shadow, possessiveness, fear of loss, tying worth to money or control. Pluto in the third house, communication and mind. A penetrating intellect, psychological insight, intense communication style. Themes are transformative learning, powerful voice, uncovering hidden information, shadow, obsessive thinking, manipulation through words, paranoia or mental fixation. Fourth house, home, roots, and ancestry. Deep ancestral patterns, emotionally intense childhood, powerful family dynamics. Themes, ancestral healing, emotional rebirth, reclaiming inner security. Shadow, family control patterns, emotional secrecy, fear of vulnerability. Pluto in the fifth house, creativity, romance, and self-expression. Creativity, passion, romance, desire to be seen. Themes, powerful artistic expression, transformative love affairs, creative rebirth. Shadow, jealousy, obsession and romance, fear of rejection. Sixth house, work, health, and daily life. Routines, work environments, health habits, service. Themes, healing, mastery through discipline, transforming daily life. Shadow, perfectionism, burnout, compulsive control of routines. Seventh house, relationships, intense partnerships, powerful mirrors, karmic relationship experiences. Themes, transformation through intimacy, learning balance of power, deep emotional bonding, shadow, manipulation, possessiveness, power struggles, and love. Eighth house, death, rebirth, and the occult. Psychology, mysticism, sexuality, transformation, shared resources. Themes, spiritual rebirth, emotional depth, confronting taboo subjects. Shadow, obsession, fear, betrayal, emotional extremes. Ninth house, beliefs and higher knowledge. Philosophy, spirituality, travel, education. Themes, spiritual awakening, searching for truth, transformative wisdom. Shadow, dogmatism, ideological obsession, trying to control beliefs. 10th house, career and public life. Ambition, influence, public intensity, transformational leadership. Themes, legacy, public transformation, empowerment through achievement. Shadow, obsession with status, work control issues, fear of failure. 11th house, community and collective vision, friendships, social movements, collective ideals, networks. Themes, changing collective consciousness, visionary leadership, transformative communities. Shadow, group manipulation, fear of betrayal by friends, power struggles in communities. 12th house, the subconscious and spirituality, the unconscious, dreams, spirituality, hidden fears, karmic healing. Themes: shadow integration, spiritual rebirth, psychic sensitivity, healing unconscious patterns, shadow, escapism, hidden fears, emotional isolation, subconscious self-sabotage. So you can see how intense Pluto is, and Pluto ultimately teaches surrender, authenticity, resilience, and empowerment through transformation. Now, when you combine that with a trine, and a trine is it's sort of an easier aspect with Uranus. You have this other planet that's like wild and unpredictable and electric. It's going to be interesting. So I'm going to go forward a little bit here in my notes. So because this is in an air sign, I wrote down some of the things that could possibly happen during this new moon with this aspect: breakthroughs, revelations, sudden clarity, innovative thinking, liberation from old mental patterns, ready to speak truths that maybe you've held back, inspired creatively, mentally restless, eager to reinvent yourself. This could be a really good time to write, maybe record a podcast, learn something metaphysical. So another note here is Pluto transforms and exposes what is hidden. Uranus disrupts, awakens, and revolutionizes. So I have so many notes and I'm trying to get better at maybe just speaking a little bit more candidly. But I'm going to just not look at my notes for a minute and just say that this is kind of a really exciting new moon, and it's one to really observe yourself and observe what you're thinking and you're feeling and how you're communicating. And it could be the start of something kind of really interesting, I think, in life. And if you're feeling a little bit bored, this was a good transit to get things going. Anyway, I gotta go here. So anyway, happy new moon. Bye.